Hello everyone, welcome to another interesting tutorial on this channel. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process on how to make this gorgeous crinoline fascinator. If you are new on this channel, please endeavor to click that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell to get notifications whenever we upload new videos. These are the materials I'm going to be needing to make the fascinator. Firstly, I'm going to be needing crinoline. This is the 7-inch crinoline. The width of the crinoline is 7 inches, and I'm working with 2 yards of crinoline. And I'm also going to be needing feathers for embellishment, a matching color of thread and needle, Halis band, and BC styles on gum, or you can go ahead and use the UHU gum. Now I'm going to fold the crinoline. So like I said, I'm working with 2 yards of crinoline. So I'm going to fold the crinoline and I'm going to iron it. So this is how you fold. You fold into two like so. Okay, so I forgot to mention I'll be needing pressing iron to iron this. I'm going to get my pressing iron to iron this straight down to the other end. Please make sure you are folding or the crinoline is equal when you fold. So once I'm done ironing this part, I will just extend it to the end. So you want to be sure that you iron this down neatly. So I cut out 20 inches crinoline from the 2 yards of crinoline that I ironed, and I'm quickly going to show you how to iron this particular one. So this is how you are going to fold. This part that is open is where you are going to fold first, and then you fold the other side on top. So you are going to fold like so, and then you use the iron to press it down. And then when you are done, you then fold the other side and you iron. So this is it. This is my crinoline. You are going to fold once like so, this side that is open, and then you iron. Then you fold the other one on top, and then you are going to iron as well. So I've been able to iron the crinoline, and this is the 20 inches I cut out and ironed again. Okay, so please note that ironing the crinoline, especially this one, this particular one, is not compulsory. But because um I wanted it to relax when I'm working on my design. That's the reason I went on to iron the crinoline, but it is not compulsory. Okay, but for this part, if you want to make a design with this, or you want to make the exact design I'm going to be making with this, then you may need to iron this part. Now, we'll just cut out about 20 inches or 18 inches, and then you iron like so. Now, this is how I'm going to go about it. You are going to take one tip of the crinoline. If you can, please drag this thread out. I forgot to mention. Drag this thread that comes with the crinoline. Please drag it out. And you want to be careful when you are doing so because you don't want to damage the crinoline. Can you see? After pulling out the thread, the next thing I want to do is to make my design, and this is how to go about it. I'm going to fold the crinoline into two, and then I'm going to bend it like so. Then I'll get my needle and my thread to secure it. So let me go again. This is my crinoline. I'll fold into two like so. Then I'll get my thread to secure it. After securing that part, I will also take the remaining crinoline. So I'll keep making loops with it. Can you see? So depending on the shape or the design you want to get from this, you can go ahead and pull it or you just or make it small. So just go ahead and do your thing and create something beautiful out of this. Please endeavor to secure this firmly before you go ahead and make more loops with the crinoline. Now I'm going to make the next design and I'm going to place it in between these two designs. Can you see? And then I'll go ahead and pack it with my needle and my thread. Okay, so I'm going to cut out these trailing edges of the crinoline before I'll go ahead and continue. Can you see? After securing the crinoline, this is what I have. So the next thing I want to do is to use this crinoline to form a design that we're going to be attaching on this particular design. And you can go ahead and form any design of your choice. You could just make loops with it and you secure it. Then you go ahead and attach it. So you may want to create something like this. Let me repeat this again. Can you see? Okay. Then you can attach it on this design. Get your needle and your thread and then you tack it down. So it depends on the design you want to create. Let's create something else. See, it's almost the same thing. So you decide on which design you want to create. Just go ahead and be creative. Create something different. Okay, and then you go ahead and tack it down with your needle and your thread. So this is our fascinator. The next thing we want to do is to embellish the fascinator, and I'm going to be using these feathers. So we are going to trim the feathers with scissors to before I'll go ahead and embellish it. So this is it. This is how to go about it. You are going to cut the feathers like so. Can you see? So we are going to trim off everything that we have here from this point down. Can you see? We are going to trim this part like so. I'll use my scissors. Can you see? The next thing I want to do is to attach the feathers or to use the feathers to embellish my fascinator. So you can go ahead and use your hot glue gun to do this, or if you have your USU gun, you can also use your USU gun, but I'll be using the B6000 gun or B7000 gun. So what you do you apply the gum on the feathers and then you go ahead and place it on the fascinator. So this is it after attaching the feathers. The last thing we want to do is to attach this to a Halis band or comb. So I'm going to be using comb instead. And to work on the comb, I've got some or a piece of net, tool net here. I'm going to cut out a small piece. So after cutting out the net, there's no specific measurement, just cut out something very small. I'm going to pass the net through the comb like so, and then I'll pass it through the comb again, just like that. So the reason I'm doing this is so I can have a neat work. Okay, so when I attach this um to my work, this will come out so neat and tidy. So I'm going to tie here, and then excess I'll cut out the excess net. Then I'll get my needle and my thread. I'll decide where I want to place this, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach this. So basically, I'm going to pass the needle and the thread through the net and then the crinoline. So if you want to attach your Halis band, I have other tutorial videos on how you can attach your Halis band after making your Crinoline Fascinator. So you may want to go through this channel so you can have more knowledge on that, and also watch our other tutorial videos on Crinoline Fascinator. So I forgot to mention, when you're attaching your comb, this is the part that should face up. I don't know if you can see this, but this part that is curved is the part that will face up, so that when you finally attach it to the hair or your client's hair, it will just sit properly like that. So if you have done this successfully by using the needle and the thread to tack it down, you realize that you have a very neat work at the back, and it's almost as if you did not even use needle and thread to tack it. This is the finished look of the Crinoline Fascinator. Please endeavor to like and comment on this video. Commenting on this video will help YouTube to recommend this video to other viewers like you who would be interested in content like this. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed.